What's up, everybody? This is Harry Bernard Taylor with the Straight Up Wrestling Show. I'm with my man Christopher Burton.
The People's Podcast. So what's happening, y'all?
And right now, we're about to go off. We're about to let you guys, we're about to start talking about some of this business that's going on out here with the WWE. And I guess we can get into a few other things. But right now, we're just going to talk about the WWE, and we will be on later. Right
this
now,
is part one. Part one.
Yeah, this part one. We're going to go on for about 30 minutes, and then we're going to come on a little bit after 5:30, somewhere between 5:30 and 6 o'clock, and go ahead and finish this thing off. But Chris, man, you want to talk about some of these things and some of the shenanigans that's going down over in going down up there in up in New York?
Man, look here, man. Look, we all know that Vince done got caught up in a scandal with the $3 million, the NDAs, the paralegal, and John Laurinaitis and the hush money and all this, man. We know about all that.
Oh, yeah.
But it gets deeper, man. It gets deeper, and I do mean deeper, man. This thing, now, they done found out Vince has paid. Hear me out now. Vince has paid $12 million in hush money to former WWE wrestlers and others.
I'll tell you what, that's not shocking. I gotta go all the way back to the Attitude Era, and when they started. That's when they pretty much started rolling in more and more female talent, and the way his demeanor was, and the way that he talked on TV about these women, and how he talked about women, and some of the things, the playful things that he did, you know, when you have something like that, even if you playing around in a business type sense, man, there's something on the back burner, especially a man at his age around that time. You know, he was in his late 40s, early 50s. Well, he was in his early 50s back then, and you know, you had all these beautiful women that was parading themselves around him. Yeah, and you know, and he basically was putting out overtones that, you know, something could happen, you know, that something could happen between him and these women, even though I think overall it wasn't, but I think in the background it probably was to a point, because it seemed like it was so acceptable, you know, and people was accepting this thing.
Yes.
And that, you know, the disrespect and everything of how women was treated. And yeah, so I am not shocked at all, man. I'm not shocked at all that, you know, some of these, you know, if he was, you know, the things that he was doing while he was
and you got to think, man, this thing might even go on past the Attitude Era, man.
Yeah.
This might, exactly. I mean, this thing, because I mean, think you had in the 80s, the late 80s, you had the steroid controversy,
right?
You know, he had to overcome that. So, and you know, unfortunately, Hogan was a big witness in that. And the way they were asking him questions, he was in his mind. He's even said, he was like, "I'm gonna be on Vince's side. I'm gonna be Vince's man. I'm gonna be his dude. I'm gonna have his back." But when he got on the stand, the way he was answering and getting them questions, he started leaning against Vince. He's like, "Okay, this ain't what I had planned."
Right.
But you know, but Vince overcame that, and that's our man Richard Ramos right there. Richard,
what's up, Richard? How you doing?
Thank you, man. We'll see you this Saturday, actually, down at SWA. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, man.
And but thank you for tuning in. But yeah, like we were saying, man, he overcame that. And you know, you got to think, Vince is a billionaire.
Yeah.
And Vince does have a ego.
No doubt.
We know he's got an ego, man. I mean, there was a story one time that Mark Henry said they were leaving Madison Square Garden. And if anybody's watching knows the general area where I'm talking about in New York City. And they said Madison Square Garden is the worst arena in the nation to get in and get out of, because where the streets are set up. Because they're basically like one-way streets and all this craziness, and then traffic all the time.
Right.
Well, basically, they said Vince, you know, drove down from Connecticut in his Bentley. Okay. And Vince, being Vince, basically pulls on the street this one way, and the cops see Vince, and they basically made traffic move out of his way just so he could go down the opposite way against traffic to get to the arena.
Oh, wow, man. Wow.
I mean, think about it. You got 90 to 100 cars on a one-way street, and you got one car going into traffic So basically, head on, and the cops are like, hey, y'all need to pull over. This is Vince coming. He's got to get to the show.
Yeah, and then
Man,
when you got
tell me, that's power, man.
Yeah, he got a lot. That's one of the things I looked at, and that's one of the things I was thinking about. This guy has a lot of power. When you have that when you have that much power, that much influence over people, and you have that much. What's going on, Scott Larson?
What's up, Scott?
Okay. Yeah. All right, man. So, but yeah, when you have that much power and influence over people, and basically you pretty much holding their careers in your hand. I mean, when it boils down to it, where could a lot of those women go to make that type of money and to get that kind of popularity when WWE outside of maybe the NFL and the NBA, which was really popular at that time, not as popular as it was back then, but outside of the NFL and the NBA, man, where else could you go to get that kind of notoriety besides going to Hollywood and making movies? I mean, so
thank you. So, and back then, Hollywood wasn't trying to check for no wrestlers. They thought they were just big and dumb, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What's going on, Jackie?
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, man. Good looking out, man. Jackie.
We definitely appreciate that, man. We will be there tomorrow night.
Yes,
we'll be promoting that show when we come back on a little bit later on today. We're going to talk some more about this, and we're going to promote the show where we're going. And man, so definitely,
but man, $12 million though, man, of stuff they found. I mean, more hush money, more former employees, and like I said on the post, man, how deep does this rabbit hole go, man? What else have they found out during this investigation?
Pretty a lot, apparently.
I mean, because I mean, dude. Okay, let me just read this, man, because this is okay. I'm reading off the article here, guys. It basically says Vince McMahon's hush money scandal is getting a lot worse. A new report revealed that McMahon has paid over $12 million to women who have agreed to sign non-disclosure agreements after sexual misconduct by the WWE boss. One of the women was a former WWE wrestler. According to the Wall Street Journal, Vince McMahon paid 4 women $12 million over the past 16 years. The payments were alleged to have been aimed to keep them quiet about sexual misconduct and inappropriate relationships. All of the women who were formerly affiliated with WWE. It also says the story notes that Vince McMahon paid $7.5 million to a former wrestler who accused him of coercing her into oral sex.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, after that, she was demoted. McMahon allowed her contract to expire in 2005 after she resisted additional encounters.
Wow, man. Wow. I tell you what, Chris, that's just flat out crazy.
Man,
it really is.
That's a lot, man. That is a lot. And then it goes on to say even more.
Wow.
Okay, it says the wrestler and her family, the wrestler and her attorney allegedly approached Vince McMahon in 2018 to negotiate a settlement payment. In other case, a WWE contractor showed unsolicited nude photos of Vince McMahon to the company. Vince agreed to pay them $1 million. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
In 2006, another former employee was alleged paid another $1 million to keep a sexual relationship quiet. That incident is in addition to the already reported $3 million in payments to a former WWE paralegal that is currently under investigation by WWE's board of directors. Oh my God, and it keeps going. Oh my God. The bombshell report comes just as things seem to be settling down for Vince McMahon. Now he will have to face a whole new litany of questions as more information comes to light. Anyone who thought Vince McMahon was out of the woods may have been sorely mistaken.
Man, look.
That is a lot, man.
Yes, it is. 16 years. But Chris, like I said, man, that is something that I'm not shocked about. I mean, I'm really not. I mean, so it, and I'm pretty sure most of those women did not want that to come out. And the way things are going today, any powerful man, it doesn't matter who it is, these women can sign a non-disclosure agreement. They can take the money, and that story is going to come out. And so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what went on and what kind of deal that you signed. That thing can come out today, and pretty much they can lay it out any kind of way they want to.
Yeah,
and
and then like I said, man. Okay, so all this comes about. Vince steps down. He's no longer the CEO. Okay, like I said, Stephanie, she gets moved out. Gets put out of her position. And now all of a sudden Vince steps down, Stephanie comes back, she's the interim CEO. All right. And we talked about this early, man. What's up, Brian Bullitt? What's going on with you, man? Good to see you.
What's going on, Brian?
Bullitt. And so we basically said when I was on break at work, as the WWE goes, so does the world of wrestling.
Yeah, yes.
Because basically whatever the WWE does, it trickles all the way down to the independents in our level, man. It trickles all the way through.
Yeah, that's true.
And we were talking about,
man, that's a great thing that you guys were talking about that at work. Because, I mean, if this is something that gets the wrestling world talking, that's good. But like you and I talked about it earlier, and what you just now mentioned, we talked about it earlier, and you said y'all talk about it at work. Everything. If WWE crumbles, and this is something that could take them down. I know a lot of people, I know there's some certain people and there's certain friends of ours who's looking at, okay, if Vince is out of there, then they can get more creative and they can get better.
Yeah,
but we don't know that. We do not know that because nobody else has had their hands on the post to actually be in there and be in creative control. Everything has went through Vince. So we don't know how that thing will turn out. We don't know how they would change that whole platform and how fans will react, because that the WWE has a certain group of fans.
Yep, they have a niche. They have a niche.
A niche, a group of fans. Say they lose all of that.
Ooh, that's a lot of fans, man.
And it's not cool at all. And the way that you got the casual fans back in the day was the casual fans looked in and said something is going on in wrestling. Something is going on with the Attitude Era. Something is going on with NWO. Something is going on to make me want that. I need to watch and see what's cool about this. So, it can take away my attention from what's going on in the other sports world, what's going on in the, Hollywood and things like that. So there was something about wrestling that made people take their attention off of everything else and look at what was going on in wrestling. And they did that. So now, like I said, this right here is going to put attention back on certain aspects of wrestling. But if WWE crumbles, and like you saying earlier, where does all those wrestlers go? And Tony Khan only can take a certain amount. And say if he revamps a Ring of Honor some kind of way and have Ring of Honor and he has a AEW, doesn't mean that thing is going to be ran right. And Tony Khan right now, he is struggling every week just to try to get 1 million viewers.
Because he's back under 1 million viewers. So I mean, like we talked about, man. If this thing, I mean, WWE's worldwide, they're $1 billion company, and Brian Bullitt, hold on. Brian Bullitt said, "Hey, Bernard Taylor, you ready to box? I heard what you said when y'all was live at APW last Saturday. I'm in a boxing mood." Oh, shoot. Well, look out now.
Yeah, anytime, Brian, anytime. we can do that at any time. So, but
yeah, man. But think about it. Like I was saying, what if this whole scandal from Vince McMahon takes out the WWE as a whole?
Yeah.
The WWE goes completely under. All that talent. What is it? Was it 500 plus or 800 plus wrestlers on the total roster or whatever? Whatever. What is it? How much?
Let's see.
What was it? Last count? Total?
236 between men and women. Yeah,
Okay, okay,
that's
so
wrestlers. I think
okay,
with I think with everybody that works in the headquarters, it's pretty much somebody got 725, but I think there's 725 people that work for the total head everything.
okay. That's
Everything's involved.
Brian. That's Brian
Yeah,
Bullock said that. But now,
yeah,
but think about it though. Let's just take the wrestlers. You said
yeah.
how much? 250, 260 total?
236, 236.
236.
Yeah,
Okay. WWE's out of business because of this.
yeah.
Where are those 236 wrestlers going to go?
Who knows, man?
And you got to think, you got big names. They're going to want big money, like
Yes,
Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. They're good. They can write their ticket anywhere. They can go to Hollywood if they want. They're good.
right.
But what about everybody else? The Xavier
Oh yeah,
Woods, the Kofi
yeah,
Kingstons, the Usos, even possibly.
right.
What independent shows can even pay a fraction of what they might be asking for?
And you're gonna
Because,
have
like you
some of
said,
them.
AEW can't take everybody.
Hey, no, you will have some of them, man, that will wrestle for crumbs, that will come out just to get a paycheck or just to stay active. You'll have some of them come out and maybe wrestle for a few crumbs, man. I guarantee you that
Yeah.
will happen on indie shows. That will happen. But the biggest names, no, they will not do it. And it could hurt the indie. It could hurt the indies when it boils down to it. Because think about it, man. You know that kind of money. You know the kind of money that these guys asking for will put you out of business when it boils down to it. If you don't draw enough money to cover what they want, it can put you out of business. So
and all this stems from Vince McMahon. Now, obviously, we're talking about a what if here,
right?
You know, this is a what if scenario. But if this does happen, man, that's a major hit in the world of wrestling.
Oh, there's no doubt.
I mean, major hit, man. And
yes.
And then let's say if WWE does rise from the ashes, if this was to happen.
Right.
And they get a whole new stem of executives, writers, CEO, whoever. I promise you, it won't be the same what you remember as. It could be better, or it could be worse.
Yes.
Man, man. I'm just shocked. I just want to know what else they're gonna find, man. Because that's
Who knows?
16 years worth of stuff just right there, man. And you know
who else knows as far as we're looking at maybe it went down to John Laurinaitis. Who else knows as far as in that brass, man? Whoever in that office, how deep does it go as far as sexual favors and all that kind of stuff? Because man, like I said, people will come out, women will come out of the woodworks, and plus when they know that they don't have to pay back that NDA. See, right now it's not being enforced with certain people. Certain DAs and things like that are not enforcing those NDA agreements. So it's free reign. It's free reign.
Man, and that's our buddy Daniel Cantrell. He said he heard Strowman had 5-figure fee for the indies.
Oh, I'm sure, Daniel. What? Appreciate it, man. Daniel, appreciate it, Daniel.
But figures,
man, that's just
who can cover that, man?
No, and that's what's the name? Claudio Castagnoli. That's what he wanted. You know, that's what Cesaro when he was on the end when he left, he pretty much cashed himself out. I mean, you know, nobody could pay for that. He wanted $6,000 for any appearance. He wanted $6,000. There's
no, man.
Not too many indies. You know, as we could take all the indies in South Carolina. I just wonder who could pay that.
It would take every single indie organization just to come up with a fraction.
Yeah,
to pay that, man.
Together, and plus, like you pay your other talent.
Ain't no way, man.
Yeah,
Brian, what we're talking about is this whole Vince McMahon scandal, man. How much worse is it going to get for Vince? And if this goes sideways, and just if WWE goes under, what's going to happen to all that talent, and where do they go? And this is part one of what we're talking about, man. This is going, what? Wait a minute, Brian. What? Ron, are you serious? Who? Ron, who? I want to know this, Ron. Who are the three that could do it?
Well,
Wow, I would like to know, Ron. Who are the three that could possibly cover that?
Well, he doesn't have to answer. I know he works with a few people that's pretty good. Their companies are doing pretty good, and they probably making money somewhere else. So they possibly, like I say, they could do that. But the whole thing about it is, how long can they do it? How long can they do it? Say if these guys start rolling out, all these different wrestlers start rolling out. How long can they do it? That's the bottom line. So there's people that can raise that kind of money and maybe do it and do it with sponsors and all that. But how long can you do that? And how many people are you going to bring in with that kind of talent when you bring in that talent? That doesn't automatically mean that you're going to fill that arena up. It doesn't.
Wow.
And that's just the bottom line.
You're right. He said the three I know can do it, and I don't even work for. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I know one of them's in Charlotte. One of them's in Charlotte probably could do it. I'm pretty sure could do it.
But man, like I said, we're hypothetically talking what ifs on that situation. But yes. but Vince, as they say, man, the chickens have come to roost, as the old folk used to say, man.
No doubt.
And Vince, your time is now, man. All the deeds, as the Bible say, the sins of the father, man, they come back on him.
Right.
And they've come back hard.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And it's probably not, I mean, some things like this probably has happened in the past. Vince is probably not the first, but Vince is the most high profile, and it just landed in his lap. It landed in his lap.
And I'm sure he thought that he had all his I's and T's crossed and everything was good to go. I know he did. But you leave one loose end, man, and that here we are. We got a mess.
I mean, you think about this, Chris. You can have a manager at a McDonald's, or some small. I mean, there's been managers known at little small convenience stores who have used their power and influence or over certain people to get sexual favors, and they've done it on low scale. On low scales, you got this man who's a multi-millionaire in the early 2000s, moving into the billionaire status, had all that money, and he had this huge platform. Man, he could do so much, and then.
And like you said, he's got the juice, man. He's got influence. He's got political people. Man, he's got all kind of influences and favors he can call in. Ain't no telling how, man. Vince could probably snap his fingers and be on the phone, like, look here, dog. Hey, you remember that favor you owe me? Hey, it's time to cash in, boy. I need you.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, you get away with it. You get away with it. You get away with it one time, and then you get away with it again. You're gonna think you can continue to do it. Get away with it over and over and over. And that's I'm gonna go ahead and name somebody in the music. Go ahead and name somebody in the music industry. R. Kelly. He got away with it once. He got away with it again. He figured he after that he said, man, they haven't got me yet. They
even though a lot of people knew about it. A lot of people knew about it. And it wasn't even just in the industry. A lot of people in the public general population knew about it.
All that knew about it. But I mean, that's just how it is, man. But I mean, I don't think as long as Vince didn't force anybody to do anything. I mean, I think.
But I know, right. But they're gonna be looking at that to see if he even did force some people.
Well, of course, and it depends on what kind of lawyer these women get. These women might want a little bit more. Depend on what kind of lawyer they get. And there's some women out there like Gloria Allred and her daughter. They love to get involved with celebrity type thing, and they like to course those their clients to put even more information out there that might not might be a little shady to the ears. We don't know if it's true or not. Yeah. So who knows what can go on, man? So Vince can have a lot of things falling in his lap, and that's gonna shock him. And at 76 years old, man, this right here can doggone bring that man down so fast. And I'm talking about health-wise and everything. And look what happened to Joe Paterno because of something that he didn't do.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't do it himself, but he
knew what was going on. Yeah, he was involved.
So he knew. He was involved with it, and it was somebody that was close to him that it happened to, and it pretty much, he was in the 70s, late 70s, and his health went down fast. And I mean, and it killed him, man. It killed him. Might not kill Vince McMahon. He's a stronger guy.
Yeah, but still, man, that's
putting him out of the wrestling business completely. It could do that. It could do that. And and he definitely doesn't have Linda McMahon. Definitely is not going to back him up. She probably knew a lot of these things that went on.
Oh
and
gosh,
like
yes, man.
They've been living apart for a long time, even though they still married. But
well, you got to think when you get that kind of status, man. You think you gonna get a divorce? You imagine all that money Vince will lose.
Yeah, well,
think that, yeah.
Yeah,
she would rake him over the coals, man.
Well, like I think she didn't want his name out there smeared. I don't think she wanted the family name out there smeared because
it's too late now.
So, but yeah, it's smeared. It's all over the place. So she's gonna have no choice when it boils down to it. And she has jumped into the political arena, so she definitely probably will go ahead and divorce this man. Who knows, man? Who knows?
In the late
early 2000s. Dusty's fee was $5,000 plus airfare and hotel, and he took no bumps, but plus whatever he got off merch.
Merch.
Off merch. Dusty, talking about Dusty Rose?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was making a killing.
But how many indie shows did he end up being at?
This is true.
Because I remember the indies back then, and I don't remember Dusty Rose being at a lot of them. I remember some coming through here. I don't remember Dusty Rose being at a lot of them. I just don't. So
nobody could get, man.
Yeah,
nobody can make that money, man.
Yeah. So I'm just like, I mean, nobody would. I mean, Claudio, he put out how much he wanted, $6,000. No indie took him up on it. So that right there tells me, even if you got the money, a lot of them probably say, that's just too much. Because you want to cover yourself. It doesn't matter. You bring in somebody and they're gonna ask that much money. You want them to cover yourself. I mean, you want your business to be covered. You don't want to lose money.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
I mean, just to get that little bit of publicity, and then those guys are not going to be there the next week. And I mean, that's one thing I know about churches, man. Even churches, when they bring in a high-profile pastor, they doing everything they can to bring as many churches in there.
Or even a high-profile gospel artist or whoever, man.
Yes, they doing everything they can to bring in as much money and put out as much as they can, so people can come in there and they can cover that pastor's salary.
Yes, so, man.
I mean, that's just the way it is, man. That's just business. Let's see.
I know one locally.
Huh. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah, well, we just don't know who it could have been, but I mean, hey.
I mean, I don't doubt that at all. Whew, sure, it could be done.
Yeah.
But once again, just how many people are you going to get out there? Is it going to be worth it? Is it going to be worth it when it comes down to your gate receipts? Is it going to be worth it? Whoever you bring in, because I mean, I've heard. I heard some hope. It was some high-profile people out the WCW came down this way. It was up in North Carolina, and both of these jokers got like $5,000. No, got $2,500 a piece. Both of these wrestlers, and that the guy who promoted the show, he had 150 people in the building. That's it.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's all he got.
That's crazy.
And they panned us, and they put it on YouTube or whatever. And they panned us and put it down low. The cameras and everything he got these more expensive cameras and all that, and they panned it and put it down low so it looked like it's more people in the building and everything. But the guy lost his flipping shirt, man. And, these both names they coming out of WCW, and they was pretty big on the roster. And he paid $2,500 a piece or whatever. I think $2,500 a piece, or maybe it was $3,000, but I know it was around that range. But he paid that money for him. And hardly anybody showed up, and man, it was a big time screw up. So I'm just like saying, you taking a chance. Yeah. So
But yeah, man, we're gonna table the rest of this for part 2 later on tonight. But like I said, Harry, man, this thing is deep, man, and I'm expecting more news, obviously, over the weeks to definitely come out, because they digging up all kinds of stuff, man. I'm sure the referees and uncarders didn't get paid. I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
No doubt.
But yeah, man, Harry, like I said, this conversation, man, is gonna be something serious, man. And like I said, the more information we hear, we're definitely gonna be giving it to you on the Straight Up Wrestling page on our Facebook. Speaking of, if you're on our Facebook page, go share, like, and join. Let your friends know about it. The wrestling fans that may not know, let them know. And if you're following us on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, and join, and hit that notification bell for times like this when we just randomly pop up and bring you the latest news on any and everything that's wrestling. And if you're on our Twitch, do the same thing that you would do on YouTube. Like, share, join, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And last but not least, if you're on our Twitter, follow, tweet, and retweet, and share also. So, which is retweeting. But yes, so Harry, man, this is going to be a subject that we are definitely going to dive into later on tonight. So we'll be back later on tonight for part 2. So make sure you're available to catch it. If not, catch the replay when we're not live, but catch the replay because we're going to be talking about this again on part 2 later on tonight. So with all that being said, it's your boy, Christopher Burton, the People's Podcaster, with my man Harry HBT for the Straight Up Wrestling Show, and we are out.
Peace.
All right.